to the work for today. Okay, I believe everyone can see my slide. Can you all see my slide? Can you see
I
my
can
slide?
see it.
All right,
Yes, I
all
can.
right. All right. So let's shoot. Okay, so yesterday we started the webinar series, How to Trade the Forex Market. So this is just a general title that encompasses the 12 things that I said we will be discussing in the 5-day free webinar. Okay, so we started on the topic that can we depend on trading in the early days, and I told you that okay, it's a yes and no question, right? The answer is yes and no, but I would delve more towards the no part, because if you are just starting, you are starting to trade, you want to make trading easy for you. You know, for me, when I started trading more professionally, I had a day job, you know, and I was doing trading by the side. And it was a year, after a year of comfortably trading, that was when I actually had to resign my job and concentrate fully on trading, right? So yeah, you can depend on trading, but maybe not in the early days. And also, I remember saying that the early days is a subjective, it's a subjective statement, you know. What does early day mean to you? So for some people, the early days can take 5 years. For some people, the early days could just be 3 months or 5 months, right? So you want to, it all depends on um the how much of a student of the market you are. It depends on the kind of training you have received in the market and from the market. It has developed, it also depends on the kind of progress you have made, you know, in the market. So trading is something that it's a very, very personal thing. I want to be careful of how you do it. And then we talked about how to plan your trade and how to trade your plan, where we talked about keeping a journal and following through with your plan, writing your plans on the journal, following through with that plan. You know, that's really the foundation of how to succeed in the market. Have back test, if you back test and you write things down, you jot things down, and you follow those things you jot down, you know, where your risk has been calculated, you calculate your risk, you have a predefined risk. You know your risk appetite, and you have a predefined risk on okay, how much to go, how much to trade, you know, it's going to help you a lot. Sorry, how much to risk per trade and all those things. And then how often are you to enter the market in a particular day? Those are tips and tricks that are going to keep you from blowing your capital in the markets. All right. And then also we discussed the question, which one is better? Is it trading personal funds or trading a prop account? And it was here that I invited some people to give their opinions. And I remember Mr. Cropper talked, and then Mr. Oluwaseyi talked, you know, where they shared their views about trading personal firms and trading prop accounts. You know, and I think the much of the consensus is that some of these prop firms, they are more like a pyramid scheme. I shared also that I've had some terrible experiences with trading prop accounts. You know, there was I didn't share this yesterday. There was a there was a prop firm that um no remember remember it's just funny now because it's really hot. I won a free account and I traded it. You know, within 2 days I passed the challenge. You know, it's 10%. They said 10% on uh they needed 10% profit and I passed it. So so I read part of their rules was that you must trade for at least 5 days. So after I had passed this, I was just picking 0.01 trade, and after like 1 minute, I will close the trade. So I was waiting for them to give me a funded account after that duration. And the next thing was that they said I did not fulfill the requirement of trading the account. I was like, what do you guys mean? I picked trades for I picked trade every day of the required minimum trading days. And I expect to win this account. They said, okay, I was supposed to use 1:5 leverage, all those nonsense. I was just like, what the? So it was a very, very it was not a palatable experience, to be honest, because I was really, really, really counting on that account. That time I was not financially okay, and I was really counting on that account, but it didn't work out fine. But thank God here we are. So people I think personally, either it's a personal your personal fund or a pop account. The most important thing to do is to have a skill. You have to have a skill in trading. You must develop, sharpen your trading skill. And part of your trading skill is your risk management. Have a very, very strong risk management, especially if you are dealing with, if in fact, if you are dealing with your personal funds and it's prop firm, right? But either you're doing personal funds or prop firm, they both have their advantages, right? Excuse me. They have their different advantages. I've traded prop accounts where I made big money, There was one that I traded, I made about, in fact, I was even being conservative. I think with just about 2 or 3 days of trading, I had made like about 1.9 million, right? And it was just from being conservative, I could have made like about 5 million or so at that time. But just to be safe, and to concentrate on my personal funds. So it's something that prop firms can give you a good leverage, but the downside to prop firm is the unspoken rules, the rules of the drawdown, the things that you are not even anticipating. It's not like it's part of their, it doesn't seem like to be part of their rule, but or they codified it in a way that it's not easily understandable. Then they tell you that you have breached account, right? So it's all based on your your goal, your personal experience. You may not have enough capital, a huge capital, but if you are a skillful trader, even if you have 50,000, there was a time that all that was left with me was 50,000 naira. And with God's help, I was able to add to make the first week, I think I made about, the first week I made 200% on it, about 200% plus on it. And then I think 2 weeks after I made about 460% on it. So it's all about your skill. But if you're able to trade a prop firm successfully, pass the challenge phases, get funded, and trade it and pass the funding phase, and make your withdrawal, you are going to see, okay, the withdrawal is going to mean a lot of things to you, right? It's going to be of huge benefit. So that's just what I think. So in today's stuff, these are the things we're going to be considering in today's class. We're going to be considering the psychology of day traders to avoid overtrading, how to systematically get out of drawdowns. We're going to talk about risk management and scaling up profits on your funded or prop accounts. All right. Sorry, just give me a minute. All right. Okay. So we're going to be doing this, and I would like to make this class as interactive as possible. And let's go into the details of today's work. Okay, so I believe this topic is not strange to most of you. The psychology for day traders to avoid overtrading. To avoid overtrading is the first topic we are going to be treating. So I believe you've all heard about trading psychology. So I would like to ask, I'd like to throw it to the house. I'd like you to contribute. What do you understand by trading psychology? So you can raise up your hand and I'll call your name. If you want to answer, you can raise up your hand. And please make it as brief as possible so that we can cover a lot of ground. So what do you understand by trading psychology? Anybody? Trading psychology. Eddie. Okay. Someone is raising up their hands. Okay. Mr. Joe Modugu. Mr. Joe Modugu, you can unmute yourself and talk. So what do you understand by trading psychology?
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. So I think trading psychology means the mentality or the mindset you carry into the market when you are going to trade. How you think about your trades, what your mindset is before your trade, during your trade, after your trade. So I think that's what psychology is about.
Yeah.
Trading psychology.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Who else wants to help us? So Mr. Joe said that trading psychology is about your mentality, how you think before you execute your trade, after your trade, during your trade. All right. Mr. Nwofo, Nwangibika, please.
Good evening,
Yeah.
everybody.
Good evening.
Okay. To my own understanding, I feel trading psychology is the emotions we attach to the market and to each trade that we take. Now, the emotions entails if you win or you lose. What are your emotions? That the emotional attachment we give to each trade we take, whether we win or lose.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. So it's the emotion, the mentality you have, the emotions, those are the things that I mean for trading psychology. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Joe and Mr. Nwofo. Okay. So trading psychology is an endless topic, and just like our two speakers have said, it's all about managing your mentality and managing your emotions. Essentially, they are the same. Okay. So I write here that there are some things to hold firmly onto and prioritize if you will not overtrade as an intraday forex trader. There are things that you want to hold tightly, right? The things that you want to prioritize if you don't want to overtrade as a forex trader. The topic here is the psychology for a day trader to avoid overtrading, right? Almost everyone tends to overtrade, especially if you are a day trader, right? You tend to overtrade. But what's the psychology behind trading exceptionally well? You must understand that these things are easier to talk about than to practice. Thus, there's a need for discipline in your trading journey, right? So your psychology is very, very important. And in fact, after I had started, I've picked up trading exclusively. I later found out that I was not emotionally mature to handle my trades. Everybody can rejoice, everybody can be happy when their trades goes as planned. But not everybody is going to remain sane, quote and unquote, when their psychology is out of place. When their trade is out of place, right? When you're when you have trades, when you're picking trades and it begins to eat stop loss consistently, you know, it takes a toll on you. Either you are trading a prop firm account or you are trading your personal funds, it takes its toll on you, right? But how do you avoid those kind of how do you protect your psychology? How do you protect your mentality? How do you put your emotions in check? You know, deliberately, there are some things that I have adopted for myself to make sure that I am sane when trading. And this is the first rule that I've embarked on. The first rule is that I must not lose my capital, right? I must not lose my capital. The last time I lost my capital was, I can't remember. It's not like, okay, of course I have drawdowns, you know, there are times that the money will reduce, but I know that, okay, if there's anything I want to do, it is to guard my capital with my life, as if my life depends on it. Or rather, if I say that, okay, the capital is much, I will take some money and deliberately just put little money in my trading account and take small trades. I would rather build a small account to a big account, to something big, and make withdrawal consistently than to put a big account, to open a big account, you know, to put big capital, and then to start losing this little by little. You know, someone I respect so much used to say something. He says that if you are given something, like if let's say for example, if a pastor if you bring a new pastor to lead a congregation, let's say the congregation is 1,000 congregants. If the capacity of that pastor is to lead, if the capacity of the pastor is to lead 500 members, and he has come to lead 1,000 members, if he is not careful, if he does not skill up to be able to lead 1,000 congregants, he's going to start making mistakes until those 1,000 congregants reduce to 500 congregants before it starts making progress. And it is very true, right? Someone says, there's this anonymous quote. It says that we don't rise to the level of our dreams. We fall to the level of our training. I want to repeat that. We don't rise to the level of our dreams. We fall to the level of our training. Yes, everybody can dream. You can get to your dream, to your destination. That's what you have sight on. But you have to train yourself up to get to that dream, to be able to achieve that dream. You have to train yourself up. Expose yourself to things that will make you become that person that to become that person that you see when you dream, when you have those dreams, right? So it's the same with our trading psychology. You want to keep, as much as possible, you want to keep a sane mind, you know? So I said the first thing is for me is that I don't want to lose my capital, all right? And then the second thing is that, okay, when trades are not going my way, I must know when to step back. When to step back, when to keep my brain in check, like, okay, well, you know, I don't know if for you, if you have ever developed this panic, when you have this kind of panic attack, or when you just see that, okay, you are not emotionally balanced, especially when your trades are going south, you know, when you see that they are going south, and then it's beginning to affect your thinking process, you are not behaving maybe as happily as you used to behave and all those things. When it begins to take a toll on you, for me, what I do is I unplug immediately. Okay, I know that, okay, I stand up from my charts, close my trade. I will look for, okay, set my stop loss, whatever happens, but put my stop loss there, and then I go out. And it's one of two things that I do. Most of the time, is either I take a walk, or I call a friend, or I visit a friend, for me, right? Or I just go outside, I just find a way to go out somewhere, you know. I just want to be away from chats, think about other important things, call my family, my siblings, my parents, you know, just to to hear from them. And what I'm trying to do by doing that is just to keep my emotion in place to make sure that I'm thinking the right way. Then after doing all those activities, then I can now begin to, okay, how do I go about this? I will now go and sit back at the chart and say, okay, how do I come out of this mess? You know, that's how to protect your psychology, your trading psychology. That's one of the ways to protect your trading psychology. Okay. And I wrote some few things here, and I said there is a need for you to have discipline in your trading journey. And some of the things you need to have discipline about is contentment. One of the things is contentment. You know, if there's anything that I know as a day trader is, there are times it is quite it's quite how will I say it? It's almost impossible for us to be contented as day traders. I don't know why. It's all like it's very hard to be contented when you just know that okay, I need to step back. What I've done is enough. Okay. Contentment is a very, very important tool. Now, for me, I know that I have this bad habit of being in the market almost every time. So this is what I've always done. Whenever I make money, even if the money I make is 20,000 naira on my capital, I try to keep a regular capital in my trading account, you know. I have, like I said yesterday, I have different trading accounts, but okay, if I'm trading this particular account and let's say I make 20% on it, or I make 30%, whatever percentage I make on that trade, immediately I close that trade, I make my withdrawal immediately. I withdraw. Is it that I withdraw or I put that money in a reserve account? There's a reserve account that I put my money in. Some of my money that I don't want to spend, I just transfer it to a reserve account with my broker, and then I start trading that capital again when I see another setup, right? And everything is just the me initiating withdrawal. It's also just to protect myself and to give myself this boost, this confidence that okay, I made the right decision, and this is the reward for my decision, and I make instant withdrawal. In fact, there are times that when I make withdrawal and I see that, okay, let's say I've made 10%, 20% on my account, you know, I just do something nice for myself, maybe buy myself a drink, go out and get suya, you know, something to just give me that good feeling that, okay, you are doing well, right? So if I take trades 5 times in a day and I make profit 5 times, I make withdrawals 5 times. That's me, right? I make withdrawals 5 times, but I transfer that profit, I transfer it to a reserve account. And it's just to just keep my emotions, my mental, my mentality in check during trading, right? So that's an hack for you. If you are someone that you see that you have an impulsive attitude to trading, right? That's an hack for you. You can do what I do. And another thing is absence from the market. I know most of us day traders, we have very horrible attitude at with this also. For example, for me, I can be very, very obsessive with trading. I can very obsessive. If there is something, especially now that even when I was not even a full-time trader, you know, my trading was affecting my day job because I was almost always in the market, right? I was almost checking, okay, what's happening. And really it was not from looking at from trying to enter trades, just okay, observing, okay, what is happening? How is this reacting with maybe a particular indicator, the moving average or something, you know, those are the things I'm looking out for, right? And you as a trader, you want to be smart about that. You want to know when to leave the market, you know. One of the things I think I did was I stopped trading. I think I stopped trading into the night, except maybe I have a running trade that I couldn't close. You know, if I just say, okay, the market has hit a particular point and I've taken out my position, I also wait, okay, maybe I'm waiting for a reversal to happen. So I just give myself that break. You know, take time away from the market. There are more important things than the market. You know, there was a time when I was just starting, I was making progress. You know, then I still had my day job, and that time it was a very, very lonely time. I did not have any girlfriend, you know. And my only hobby is playing chess, you know, as weird as it is. And if you are someone that understands how to play chess, you know, chess is it's brain tasky on its own. And what do I do at that time? Immediately after I've made money, sometimes I could have made 80%, 100% on my small accounts, and I'll have been exhausted. There's no friends to call, you know, there was my friends were not nearby, you know, and it was a very, very lonely time. And I would just take a walk, maybe to the student area. My house is not very far from UI. I just take a walk there, you know, and sit down at the car park, look. Then when it's about 9 p.m., then I take myself back to my house and then sleep, right? So there's actually there are things that are more important than trading, you know, and you want to be very careful. You as a forex trader, you want to be very careful um to prioritize other things above trading so that you will not overtrade. Sometimes you just have to be careful. Um you can give yourself a benchmark. Okay, I'm only taking 3 trades per day. I'm only taking 3 trades per day. If those trades go to if they eat profits, that's all for the day. If they eat loss, that's all for the day. Then I will look for another opportunity tomorrow, right? And that's how you can keep yourself from overtrading, really, right? So I've mentioned having hobbies. Okay, learn to observe mostly than to trade. It's not every time that you'll be initiating trades. There are people that they enter a trade, they enter trades as many as 10 times, 15 times in a day. See, there's no two way about it. If you're entering trades as many times as that, it means you are not profitable. I always say it. Excuse me. If you have to enter trades in a day that is more than 5 times, the likelihood that you are profitable is very low, because if if the way the forex market is structured, especially for day traders, is to make you lose your money. They are trying to set traps for you. Like today, I made about how much did I make? I think I made about 60% on one of my accounts, and because I had taken profit at first, you know, made a withdrawal, and then I saw another opportunity, right? Like it looked like my setup and I entered it. You won't believe that I'm floating in lows as I currently speak. So I only took 2 trades today. And those trades, one of it went well, the other one went south, right? I'm basically fighting for my life on that particular trade, right? And it's just how the forex market is structured. Actually, if you're a day trader, you want to be careful that you don't fall prey to the big players in the markets. Don't let them use your money for food, for their own beer in the night. Okay, so that's why you should learn to observe most of the time. And also, there's no crime in using demo. I know that most forex mentors will tell you that, okay, demo trading is not real trading. Yeah, demo trading may not be real trading, but if your hands are itching you, you know, I always recommend that you do demo trading. You are trying to, you see a setup, but you are not yet sure about the validity of the setup, right? Why don't you just take a step back, you know, and demonstrate that thing. Let's see how does it work? How did it go when you demonstrated it? You can check that out, right? You don't have to always take trades on your own personal account, so that you not lose that account, you not waste your capital, you not waste your money. Okay. So okay, again, I would like to hear 1 or 2 persons. What's your view on trading psychology? You can just share something briefly. Okay. Do I call names? Who's ready to talk? You can raise up your hand. Okay, Cropper wants to talk. Cropper, what's your view?
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you for the chance to talk. Actually, I have, will I say, is more of a question.
Can we put questions till after the class?
Okay, sir. Then after the class.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me just. I would like to. Let me go into the next topic. So there will be opportunities to ask questions. I think the last 5 minutes of the class which will be towards asking questions. Okay. So how do you systematically get out of drawdowns? How do you systematically get out of drawdowns? I wrote here that the first thing is to back test like your life depends on it. If you are in a very big drawdown, in fact, you don't have to even be in a big drawdown. If you're in a small, even if you take a trade, you see your setup and you initiate it, you take the trade, and you see that it did not go as planned. It has happened once, it happened twice, or 3 times in a row. Sit back, ask questions, check for what is happening, what is going wrong. Are you making a mistake? Is there something that you're not getting? You know, those things is always good that you ask yourself questions, right? And backtest. You backtest, okay, what is happening? What's going on with this trade? Like, what am I getting wrong? Those are the things that you should try to do. You know, backtest like your life depends on it. You know that, and when you're backtesting, it means that what you are not running any trade at that time until you are sure you know what is wrong. Maybe with a strategy or with a method you are using. When you know that, okay, that's when you can now what you can start trading again. The second thing is to practice on your demo account or on a small account. You know, some mentors will recommend that, okay, you have a $10 account and everything. Yeah, it's also good, you know. But you can, I'm a big fan of demo trading. Like, if I want to use demo, okay, there are this year, that was around February, I deliberately picked up trading US30 and NAS 100, right? And I have a strategy for trading those two accounts, those two indices rather. And before I venture into trading them, you will not believe that since November or October, I have been backtesting these trends. Okay, the setups that I use for, let's say, for GU, for EU, I saw that, okay, it's on many times it does not work on those accounts, right? So what did I do? I needed to open a demo account and trade them and trade US30 and NAS 100 exclusively on that account, on that demo account, right? And I practiced it for about 3 months, from around November till February. And then I started taking trades on US30 and NAS 100. You know, I have an account that I exclusively dedicate to US30 and NAS 100. And I will tell you that US30 and NAS 100, they're actually where I make most of my money now. In fact, if you are someone that trade them, you know how volatile they are, you know, and I just found a way to devised, due to backtesting, I devised a method for taking trades on US30 and NAS 100, and I've had consistent results. Like I've not had losses in the past 1 month trading US30 and NAS100. But what did I first do? I had back tested, right? And then the second thing was that I used a demo account to test out my strategies. Recently also I've picked up trading BTC. I've picked up trading BTC also, and actually that BTC, it was from, I get signals for it from a mentor, you know, and it's because I've not really gotten my hack around it. Let me be honest, I've not really studied it very well, right? But I've not also gotten my hack around it. I know that if I sit down and study it very well, I will get around it. But for now, I'm relying on my mentor's calls, trade calls to do that, to trade BTC. So I don't take BTC by myself. But the ones that I have mastered by myself, I've practiced, I've worked on, I can confidently take trades on them and win, right? And you can do the same. So, of course, I know we are discussing about how to systematically get out of drawdowns, but you know, these practices, backtesting, like your life depends on it, practicing on demo account, you know, they are these 2 points are very, 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 very important, right? They are very, very, especially this first one, backtesting, it will save you of many stress, right? It will keep you from making unnecessary mistakes. Okay. And the third thing, which is very, very important, is to lower your risk. If you're on drawdown, if you're on 2% drawdown, 3% drawdown, either on your demo account or your personal funds, I would recommend that you lower your risk. That's not the time to increase your risk. Increasing your risk is how you blow it. Actually, if you are still using that same strategy, the same risk management plan that you have stuck with, that is making you that you have traded and you have lost that account, and you have lost part of your funds, I would recommend that you lower your risk. I did something. Like I said, the last time I traded a prop account was February. I've not traded any prop accounts this month. So I remember I had this account. I was like, I was not following a good risk management plan on that account, to be honest. And I had lost, I think I had lost the maximum drawdown was 10%, and I was down by about 9 point something percent. I remember that I had about $71 to lose that account. You know what I had to do? I just knew that I needed to. Okay, someone says he wants me to explain what backtesting is, as if he's hearing it from the first time. Okay, I'll do that. So I'll do that later. So what did I do? I reduced my risk. In fact, it will be very funny to you. I reduced my risk to more than 90% of my typical lot size, right? It's just like if you normally you use any trade you want to enter, you use 0.5, and you have to reduce your risk to 0.05, right? So I reduced my risk, and you won't believe that I built within a week. I passed that phase on that account. I passed the phase. I later passed that account by the required 8% for the first what do they call it now? The first phase of the challenge, right? So lower your risk. Sometimes we have problems. We come into problems because we are not lowering our risk. And as you lower your risk, also, you should, any profit you see, just pick it. Like you take a trade, greed also plays a role in how we lose accounts. You've taken a trade and you have realized, let's say $100 on it, just close it. Actually, if you are having drawdowns, right? If you know that you don't want it to go back to break even, or you don't want it to go back to stop loss, why don't you just close that trade and wait for another opportunity in the market to present itself for you to enter that trade, right? So please and please, always lower your risk and be fast to take profits. Okay. You can't reduce risk. Someone is asking if you can reduce risk while you're on a trade. No, you can't. Yeah, you can reduce your risk if you're on a trade. If you have MT5 allows you to take partial profit, even MT4. You can take partial profit or partial loss. Let's say you entered 0.5 lot size, and then you said that, okay, that maybe it was a mistake, or your risk is too much. You can close part of it. You can close maybe 0.4, 0.3 of that trade, right? So you can reduce your risk on a running trade, or you can altogether close the trade and enter with the normal risk that you want. Okay. So, and also know that little progress compounds over time will become big progress. Just to buttress what I had said. If you see any progress, you know, you are down by, you've been down by 4% on your account, and then you take a trade that's taking you up by 2%, close that trade. You can wait till tomorrow. You know, it's all about, forex is psychological warfare. You know, especially if you don't have a stable or a time-tested method yet, right? So you want to lower your risk and compound progress little by little over time. Okay, and also be contented with making just one trade run till success. Be contented. There are times that you just need, you don't have to add positions. Adding more positions is how you easily lose trades. Okay. Adding more positions is how you easily lose, right? Especially if your position has gone beyond the peak formation, right? And you don't want that to happen to you. Okay. I want to wrap up this part so that I can entertain questions. Okay. And if it's 0.5, let's say you enter a trade with 0.5 lot size, and your target is, for example, 200 pips, right? And you're already at, let's say you're already at $150. Remember, your target is 200 pips. That's where your TP is. And you're already at $150. There's no need for you to add another trade at that point. You don't have to add another trade. That is greed. Actually, if you have a goal, you are not taking that trade at the peak formation. There's no crime in, okay, you saw a peak formation, you have seen a peak formation, like, okay, yeah, a very strong reversal path in the market. You enter your trade at that point. You don't need to enter the trade again. For me now, if I see that if there is a trade, if I take a trade, if I see, let's say, for example, on gold now, and I see set up at 2170, for example, and I enter a position at 2170, I will not enter another position when it has 2180. If I see that it is still moving up, I will not enter another buy at 2180 because that's too far away. That's about 100 pips difference. Because if it starts coming down, that's when imbalances occur in your psychology. That's when you begin to have mental breakdowns. You'll be fidgeting, right? And you don't want that to happen to you. Any trade that is above, if you don't enter all your positions within the first 30 pips move, I think I would suggest that you don't take that trade again, right? Don't take the trade. If you enter the first position, the second position, don't take it when it is 50 pips up or 50 pips down, depending on the direction of the market, right? Be contented with just making a trade and let it run to success. So, and point 6 is that after the trade has been closed, you rest a little. Take a little rest. Observe what is going on. What's the setup? Take a little rest, observe the markets, and don't up on every opportunity. That's how to get out of drawdowns. That's how to avoid overtrading. Rest. Rest a little. Trading is difficult on its own. You don't want to fall into the traps, right? So I would like to entertain questions. I thought we were going to cover, there are still things to cover today, but we scheduled that till probably tomorrow. And okay, I want to say that I've spoken with one of my friends, UCT, is also a very good trader. So he's going to talk about part 3 tomorrow about prop firms, you know, KYC. Also, he will recommend prop firms to you, and so we're going to talk about these things: the best brokers, the best prop firm, marking out point of entry and point of interest and liquidity, how to trade a prop firm from purchase to funded. You know, all those things we're going to discuss with you tomorrow by God's grace. So I guess I will continue the rest of the course probably if we have time tomorrow or on Thursday by God's grace. So I would like to entertain your questions at this point. So if you have any question, you can drop it on the chat box or you can raise up your hand. I think Cropper has a question, but before Cropper asks the question, I want to quickly answer this person's question in the chat. The person, Shodola 2 says, can you please explain to me what backtesting is? And that it's as if you are hearing it for the first time. So backtesting is about, okay, if you have a strategy, maybe you are taught a strategy, you learned a strategy from a mentor, or you have a personal strategy. You want to check previous records, right? You want to check the market, check your charts, maybe you check each of the time frames, whatever time frame that you see that setup, you want to check it over the course of the past 5 months, the past 1 year, the past 2 years, to see how it's played out, right? So that is what will inform your opinion, or it will inform your decision on how to place trades whenever you want to use that strategy again in the market. So that's what backtesting is usually about. It's just like you reading, you read your books before you test or your exam. It's about you reading, okay, what are the questions your lecturer can ask? You read it, you study it, okay, you learn the tips and the tricks so I can be able to answer the questions correctly, okay? And someone asks, okay, how did you do that? Can you reduce risk? Okay, I think I've answered this. And someone says, this is my first time coming to your Zoom meeting, sir. Please, are you teaching us any strategy? In this webinar, I'm not teaching you any strategy. So we're just answering questions, suggestions and ideas about trading forex market, trading prop firms generally. Someone asks, can you talk about trade management and how to take profits correctly? That's what we are doing. That's what we are doing currently, right? We're talking about trade management and how to take profit correctly. Don't over project, and whenever your profits, you see your profits, just take your profits, take a rest from the market, wait for another point of reversal, another point of entry. Okay, so I like Cropper to ask his question. Cropper, please ask your question before I attend to another question here.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So my question is, yeah, okay, personally for me, I'm a student and I get really busy with school stuff.
Okay.
Then also I have a business that I'm actually running. So that's 2. Then 3, I have some routines that I'm working on for personal development and all that. That is reading books, attending some classes, some webinars and trainings and all that. So the thing is, you were talking about like you were having a problem of being too glued to your charts, to your screen and everything. But for me, like I've not been able to really give enough time to my backtesting, especially. And I know that is one of the things that is affecting me. So I don't know. I've been having trouble setting my priorities.
Okay.
That is the issue now. So I don't know, should I like sideline so many other things that I feel are also very important and like focus on it? Because I actually tried it for some time like a month or two, and I focused on my trading, and I actually made progress. But I know that just a month or 2 months will not be enough. So what would be your advice?
Okay. All right. That's a good question. Thank you very much. So, you know, not being too glued to the chart can be a curse, and it can also be a blessing. It depends on what you are getting from the charts. It's not about the trading you are doing, but okay, what are the things? Are you learning something? Are you understanding things better? That's what is more important, really, to be honest. So, what I will recommend to you is, if you have other things that are important, things that are bringing you money, you have a business you are running, yes, yes, you should have a forex mentor. That's very, very important. But see, a mentor cannot take the place of personal development, especially in any skill or any trade that you are doing. A mentor can be a guide and everything, but you will have to do the hard work. And this is what I will recommend to you. I will recommend that you can start with just segmenting 1 hour a day. 1 hour every day. It can be 1 hour every weekday, right? To trade, to learning, right? Segment just 1 hour every day to, okay, back testing, doing things, or actually it's something that you have to do daily. And that's the best recommendation. 1 hour every day. It can be 9 to 10, 10 to 11, whichever time that works best for you, right? You can do that. The important things that are important for me, the things that are important to my life, if I want to learn, I want to pick up something new, I like to do it in the early hour of the morning, or before the dawn. You know, usually I wake up around 4:30 or 5, you know, and after my devotion, I really have to do some things, you know. Maybe it is to read or to learn a skill. Then after that, usually I have some students that they are my paid students that I'm teaching a course. I teach them, I deliberately put the course to 6:30 to 7:30, between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. Right? And I teach them. I know that, okay, I've done that for the day. So, and then I have I have my routine. It's just about you creating a routine about things. You can learn anything you want to learn. You have to give yourself time to do it. A mentor can only do as much as give you tips and tricks and make you see things. But even whatsoever he has taught you, you have to go back and check it again. So you can start with doing this 1 hour a day, then a chunk of your weekend also, maybe a Saturday, you can dedicate maybe 2 hours on Saturday to doing those things, right? And that's how it gets better. That's how you see it. Okay. And so I think, I don't know if I was able to help you with that answer, Mr. Cropper.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
The answer is
You're
great,
welcome.
sir. Thank you.
All right. All right. So Gabby FX asks, how do I balance the pressure to make money with the patience to build an hedge? Most of us are broke, and mentors say we should concentrate on building the edge than the money. Oh, I think we've all been here, okay? And I understand what you mean, especially if you're a guy, you know, and I understand what you mean, you know. But the thing is, for you to, you have to balance the pressure. In fact, the money you have, I would say that you first keep your money. Use that money to take some of the money to be feeding yourself, and learn how to trade correctly. Trading is not like it's something that is big. It's about revelation. See, I'm sorry, I'm a Christian, right? And my faith, and I apply my faith to everything I'm doing. You know, personally, I believe that you need to pray and, you know, ask God to reveal things to you. I shared something before we began this webinar, this night's class. I shared something on Twitter. I think that was my last tweet. And it's about is about like I said, God revealed some things to me about the moving averages, you know. And I was just like the past how many months, I was just concentrating, okay, how does this thing move? How does this work? How does it? And I was able to see some things from how moving averages work, right? So you can't but be patient. You have to be patient. And for me, I have one bad attitude. The time I used to lose my capital, it is maybe I've earned some money from the capital, and when I lose that capital, that's when I will now sit down, you know. I'll sit down and I will do some other things, maybe read a book, you know, listen to podcasts and everything. Then when I now sit down with the chart and begin to backtest and see some things, that's when I will now say, oh, this how to go about this. This is how to learn. These are the traps I was supposed to have avoided that I did not avoid, that put me in trouble, you know, those things. But it was because when I lost money, it was when after I had lost money, I was able to sit down to do it. But I don't really have to have lost my money to be able to sit down and see. So don't wait until, see, it can, brokenness has never killed anybody, right? Being broke it has never killed anybody. So you want to be careful not to lose the little money you have. Find an edge in the market, pray. I recommend that you pray, ask God to reveal things to you, ask God to give you understanding, and then learn a strategy, practice it, backtest it, and build with it. So I think you're going to be great. Someone's asked you, do you need a software to backtest? I don't use a software to backtest. Someone asks, how do I become your mentee? If you want to become my mentee, actually, I think I'm doing a mentoring session currently, like with what I'm doing now. You know, it's you can call it mentoring. But if you mean that you want to become maybe a paid mentor or something, maybe you want me to teach you one or two things, you can message me on WhatsApp. Using that WhatsApp line, you can message me and we'll talk more about that later. Okay, so with that, we draw the curtain for today's class. So I don't know if I've been able to help anyone today.
You have certainly do. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. And we meet again same time tomorrow. Have a wonderful night rest.
Same to you, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, boss. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.